Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Choice Podcast. And if you're new to the show, welcome. I have an extremely special guest. I'm actually here with 3 members of the band Slanderus. I am so happy, so honored to have you guys here. I listen to your amazing music. I'm so honored to have you guys on the show. And not just to, of course, talk about music, but get to know the members here. So please, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. You guys coming all the way from California. It's awesome. I actually had a few different guests coming from California, and I always like to ask my guests, what do you like about California, and for any of my peeps that may visit there.
Nice.
Jason, you go first. Go first.
Okay. I guess I would say, like most people, the weather and how, depending on what area of California you're in, like, you're close to like Los Angeles, there's like a lot of different things you can do around the Los Angeles area. You got beaches. It's like one of the only places in the world where you can visit the beach and the mountains on the same day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think for me, it's just the overall atmosphere. Like, yeah, I can get a little rough at times with like traffic and stuff, but the overall environment's just pretty good. Like Jason said, weather's nice. I don't want to say year round, but it's got its seasons,
Yeah. I'm very similar with just the weather is one of the nicest things I think about living out here, except for the summer gets a little bit bad, but the rest of the year is actually beautiful. So
awesome. That is awesome, guys. And I wanted to ask about your name, Slanderus. Like, where did the name come from for you guys, and is there a backstory behind it?
Yeah, a little bit of a backstory. It basically came from a Machine Head song. There's a band called Machine Head, and they have a song called Slanderus. And I was playing it on my radio one day, and I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, that's kind of a cool sounding word. And so I was like, I looked around online to see if there was any bands called Slanderus. There wasn't at the time. And I was like, I think that'd be a cool band name. So I just went with that. And then I kind of changed the spelling a little bit. So it's like Slander Us instead of the proper spelling, just to be a little bit different and have a little bit of a double meaning type of thing. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Slander Us. I like that.
Yeah,
right.
Double meaning.
and I was, looking you guys up and doing the research. You guys been together since 2008. Like, that's amazing, because I've had different bands on the show, and just talking with different people through music, and just for a group to stay together that long is pretty hard. So I want to ask, what's the key to you guys, the secret of staying together? So I don't know if Brian, you want to go first, or Jason?
I guess I could probably go. I'll probably go first. So
probably a good one to ask.
Yeah. The key is probably myself, because with the current lineup, I'm the only original member, and our singer Alan, he's been here second longest. He's been here for 10 years, and JJ, he joined the band in December 2020, so he's been with us almost 2 years. And then Brian, he's the newest guy. He joined us in August of 2021. So yeah, those guys are still a little bit somewhat new.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And when you started the band, Jason, you said since you're the original member, was it always a dream of yours, or what? Like, what moment was it for you to want to pursue music and start a band?
I think it was around the time when I was about, let's say I was just turning around 19, 20, and I was moving out on my own. I was moving out of my parents, and I decided like I wanted to like take music a little more seriously, kind of look for a band to join. And I was looking for bands to join, and at the time there wasn't really any bands that had like the kind of sound I was looking for, like the style and the sound I was looking for. And so I was looking for a band. I couldn't, and there wasn't really a band that I really fit or the kind of sound I was looking for. And then I started playing with like other musicians and like other guitarists to kind of like, uh, get my skills up to par and like just learn more things about guitar because I didn't really know that much back then, and just kind of developed my skills a little more. And then I got to a certain point where I was just like, well, I can't find any band that, I'm like really digging, I'm really into. So I'm just gonna like start my own band. And then I started putting together my own songs and stuff and trying to get an idea of what I was trying to do. And then I started collaborating with other people with that, and that kind of became like the first lineup of the band.
And how about you guys, Brian or Jonathan? You want to go? Like, was joining the band, or or what was your initial go for it moment to really start pursuing music?
Um,
Um,
I'll let you go first,
go
JJ.
ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Well, for me, like, I got into music when I was in high school. I was one of those kids that like I got Guitar Hero when I was like in high school and just got really into that, and then that jumped me into pursuing a career in music, I guess you could say.
Shout out to Guitar Hero. That
Yeah,
was, oh man, I spent
yeah.
me and my boy JJ. Like, shout out to you, bro. He's a big fan of the show and supporter. I mean, man, we played hours of Guitar Hero. I
Same
knew
here.
I knew that was gonna
Mm,
inspire somebody one day. Honestly.
Yeah, I've seen it inspire a few other people
right,
too.
right.
It's not just me. But yeah, like it, and my whole thing has been kind of weird. Like I haven't been in a ton of like bands until Slanderus, but I tried a few times, but it was always just like at most would get maybe like a few rehearsals in, and then something would happen, and whoever was the main person running the band would just be like, I think we're just gonna cancel everything or drop, like stop trying for now because it's just too hard.
Mhm.
But there's all that. One of the weird things is like I started learning through Guitar Hero. Eventually, I went through and I now have a bachelor's in music composition.
Awesome. That's what's up.
So I did all that. But yeah, eventually when I finished up college, when I finished up with my bachelor's degree, I was like, I really want to get into like a solid band that's actually doing something. And that's when I found Slanderus, and we've just kind of I tried out, everything worked, and it just went on from there. And I guess.
Awesome. How'd you discover the band? Like, were they like local around your area, or did you just happen to see some of
They
their
weren't
music
they
online?
weren't really local. Like I'm kind of the weird guy in the band where everyone lives fairly close to each other. I live like an hour out of town. But the thing is, where I live is kind of known for being like almost like a wasteland where it's like there's nobody. Like if you want to actually try and do something in music, you have to work outside of this city.
Mm.
So you have like I was looking around in that. I saw Slanders within a mix, and it was like for the kind of music I wanted to do, Slanders was probably one of the best options out there. And then they just so happened to like send me an invite to rehearse or to audition for their to fill their bass player position.
Awesome.
So
That's awesome.
Hmm.
And how about you?
So yeah, for me, I've started playing drums when I was, shoot, 8 years old, and kind of stopped for a while. Did the whole middle school percussion thing, and then really picked back up. I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. I've been playing ever since. So I'd roughly say I've been playing 15 years. But
So
it's
15
it's
years.
it's good. I really like playing the drums, and it's just a coping mechanism. Like no matter what, if you're angry or whatever, you can just take a chill pill and just play drums. That's like I always kind of do.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
Slanderus, I've been looking at Slanderus for like 2 3 years, and the drone spot opened up. I was like, I gotta take it. I just something about it. I've never been in a prog metal band per se,
Mm,
but I just wanted to try something different, and I was like, I think this is a good opportunity right here. So
definitely. And it's awesome that you guys, are together and making, amazing music for real. Who were some of your biggest influencers or idols growing up?
I guess for me, one of my big influences like Dream Theater, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Queensryche, uh, and then I like a lot of like some of the like new metal stuff too. Like I like Korn, uh, I like the Disturbed and that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of mix of like old school metal and like new school metal, like those kind of bands I was into growing up.
So, and I don't know which one you guys want to go first. This is actually my first time
Yeah.
having three different
yeah,
people, so it's like,
we're like
who
the
wants to go
same.
first?
Oh
Who wants to
yeah,
go second?
I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'll go. For me, I put it in a perspective. So most of my top drummers, first off, Sneevert for sure. Tommy Lee, I go off, and then I started getting into new wave, and it's guys like Eric Moore, and, J. Rob Sullivan, and those guys you've probably ever heard of, but they're just ridiculous on the drums, and they kind of make me who I am right now. So
Awesome. And actually, Brendan from Ultimatum, when I had him on there, he said Tommy Lee was actually a guy who inspired him as well. So that's pretty cool. And how about
yeah,
you, Brian?
Yeah. So for me, it was like I've been my tastes have kind of been changing over the years, but it's like when I first started, I was listening to a lot of like Iron Maiden, Metallica, and stuff. Then eventually got into like some of like the neoclassical side of metal with like Yngwie Malmsteen and stuff like that. Some of those European guys. But I also kind of really started getting into like progressive rock and stuff more recently. So it's like some of the bases I really think of are like Tony Levin, Geddy Lee. There's one guy named Cody McCory who I've been kind of really getting into recently. He plays for a band called Thank You Scientist, kind of really nerdy, kind of rock, jazz, metal kind of stuff. It's really weird, but stuff like just all. I'm not kind of all over the place because it's like at the same time I'm listening to that, I also get into like I listen to a little bit of some of the old school like funk guys and stuff like Bootsy Collins and stuff like that on occasion. So
That's awesome, guys. I always love to ask, what's like who's your model, like idols or big influencers, and
mm-hmm.
because it's just amazing, just some of the different bands
oh for
and,
sure.
and different
Yeah.
people that I get, and then it's like when I hear that, and then I try to think about here's music, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I see that, or sometimes it's someone that I never even imagined. Like I had a guy on the show before. He's a country singer and rock singer, and he's a Prince fanatic, and I was just like, didn't see that coming. But I mean, shout out to him too. He's a great guy.
nice.
So let's talk about your latest album that you guys dropped in April, which is awesome. April is that's my birth month. So shout out to us
Nice.
Taurus and,
Great.
Aries.
Sick.
It's called Absorb into the Infinity. So like, what message did you want that album to give out to the fans, or your fans, and really the world?
Um, well, our main goal was to put out an album to show where we're at today as a band and to showcase everybody who's in the band now and to really like step it up as much as we could from the previous album and just to basically show this is the best we could have possibly done. Like here we are here in the now and this is what we got. And that was kind of my goal with
Awesome.
it, since it's been a long time since our previous album.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Because was the last time you guys dropped before this one was that in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was in 2017, and between that time and now, there was just a lot of we had members who quit, and we just had a hard time filling like a bass player spot for a long time, and
Mhm.
then there was a little while where we were trying to fill the drummer spot, and that took a while. So it's basically that big gap just had to do with trying to get people to fill that spot. And then we had a bass player fill that spot. He was in there for a while, and then COVID happened, and then like he joined like right before COVID, and then COVID happened, and we couldn't do anything for like a year. And then right when things started loosening up, he decided he didn't want to be in a band or play music or anything anymore.
Oh
So
man.
he left. So then we were back to like looking for a bass player again. So and then that was like another like 8 or 9 months. So yeah, it was like a lot of struggles for a few years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
It's like a major struggle, but it's
Yeah,
good that everything worked out now, and you guys, are rocking and jamming. I see you guys got some performances coming up pretty soon. We'll get into more
yeah.
of that as well. Um,
Mhm.
so another question I want to ask too is, actually, I don't think I ever asked this question, at least on camera. So, for the
Okay.
bands that I've had on, but like, what song on the album is like the most personal song or that means the most to you and why?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Man, it's too bad Alan wasn't on. He could probably
Yeah.
do that one.
Right, right.
Because all our
Seriously.
Yeah,
someone
because
talk about the philosophy of the album and stuff.
yeah, like because he writes all the lyrics, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
that all comes from him. So, um, hmm,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Uh,
That was a good question, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, I was just like, I've
Great
asked that
question.
before
Great
off
question.
camera, and I was like, let me ask it on like camera just
yeah.
to hear it.
I mean, I think for me, I would say either Cobra Kai or Absolution would probably be what I would choose, just because I put so much time and effort getting some of those bass parts written for those tracks. So
Hmm.
I feel
Oh,
like out of the entire album, those are probably some of the best shows of my own skill as a musician.
Hmm.
awesome. And I love that the video I seen on YouTube of Cobra Kai, and
Oh
it
yeah,
just went so well. Like it almost that song could have been like literally on the original soundtrack. If of
yeah,
course it was created
Yeah.
around that time. I mean, it just played so
yeah.
well, and I was like,
Well, I
wow,
mean,
this is awesome.
Yeah, like that was kind of like what
Mhm.
I had in mind for like after we did that song,
Mhm.
because when I originally wrote the instrumental for it, like I was kind of inspired by that show, and I was watching that show during that time, and when I finished like the demo, I called it Cobra Kai because I'm like, oh, it kind of has that vibe to it. And when
yeah.
Alan
So
started writing the lyrics, he said like, oh, I'm actually writing the lyrics about Cobra Kai too. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. So it's gonna have like a Cobra Kai theme, okay.
yeah.
And so he
Yeah.
did that, and then it ended up coming out that way, which I thought was cool.
Mhm.
And I've had other people say that too. It's like, yeah, it'd be cool. Like that song sounds like it could be on the show.
Yeah, I think any
Definitely.
review we've had that got into talking about each song, like that's one of
Yeah,
the comments that we get.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. And funny thing, recently I went to a live performance of the guys who do the music for the show.
Mhm.
They have a band. It's Zach Robinson and Leo. I can't remember his last name. It's like, but those guys they do the score music. All the music for the show. And then they did a live show at the Troubadour in Hollywood recently, and I went to that, and it was pretty cool. Like it was a little show, like a little intimate show, and then they had that band played, and then they had like people from the show were there,
Mhm.
like the actors and stuff. They were just hanging out and chilling. They had like a little VIP section upstairs. They were hanging out there, and then they came down and kind of hung out in the crowd and stuff, and just having a good time with everybody, which was cool. And after the show, um, I went up to I saw that there was a couple of the creators there, and I was like, oh man, like I should totally try to like talk to one of those guys. And so as we were leaving, I talked to one of the creators. His name's Josh Heald. He's one of the 3 creators of Cobra Kai, and I talked to him in person, and I just told him about the band and the show, and I talked to him about the song we did, and I told him like it'd be really cool if you guys checked it out sometime, So I gave him my card, and he said they'd check it out, and I don't know if they ever did. I never heard back from him, but
we're calling you out, man. You better leave a comment.
yeah, I mean, it would be cool. I just, it would just be cool if they checked out the song and they're like, oh, that song's cool. We really like it. That'd be dope. But yeah, you never know, right? So
can we add that to other reasons why living in California is nice?
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. You never know who you're
run
going to run into.
people on the street.
Yeah, you never know.
I personally can't wait to go to visit California. Like I've made so many friends just virtually throughout the almost 2 years since I've been doing this podcast since COVID, and it just sounds like a place that is just awesome. I heard it's expensive as hell, but especially me coming from North Carolina where things are a little more cheaper. But
okay. So you're in North Carolina. Okay.
all the way from Fayetteville.
Wow.
So most people don't know about Fayetteville too much. I mean, probably J. Cole is probably the one that's kind of like been putting Fayetteville on the map. But but yeah, that's where I'm from right now. Well, live here at least.
Nice.
I've been here about 14 years. Originally born in Connecticut. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I have people. They're like, "Oh, you're from North Carolina." I don't hear the accent.
Right.
Oh wow.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah. I honestly can't wait to visit California, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to you guys at Single Cobra Kai too. I really did enjoy the video and the song itself too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Thank you. Cool.
So
yeah, we actually have a new music video coming out here pretty soon.
yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we got so we shot a music video for our song, the song Espiritu on the new album, and we shot that in LA. We rented out this space in LA. It was set up kind of like an abandoned church, and we got a videographer, and he was one of Alan's friends, and his name's Edgar, and he basically shot our video. Him and another one of his friends helped out, and we just shot the video. We didn't really know what we were doing. Like when we got there, we never shot a music video before. Like I never been involved in anything like that. So we just kind of got there and we were just trying to figure out like what we were going to do, what kind of shots we wanted to get. And we're just like, okay, so let's do this. Let's have Alan here and I'll be right here. And then Brian will be right here. And we just shot like everybody's parts, boom, 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 boom. And then we shot some footage of all of us playing together. And, so yeah, I think we got some pretty good shots, and there's a little behind the scenes teaser you can check out. It's on our Instagram and Facebook. It's a little teaser,
little backstage, like behind the scenes video.
Yeah. And so that should be coming out hopefully in the next week or two, I think.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I plan on dropping this episode on Tuesday, so who knows?
Okay.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, if it might be out by then. If not, I know you got the support from me and my peeps here, the People's Choice Podcast, and we definitely share it and post it. So be on the lookout either this week or next week. So this is exciting.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. And another question I like to ask bands. Well, I got like 3 more I'm going to ask you guys, like these common questions. On top of other ones I've asked bands, but this is one where I want to ask, what does your band, like the message your band represents to not just your fans, but to the world?
Again, this would be easier if we had Alan, the lyricist of the band. But
let's give a shout out to Alan, man. I wish you could have made it, man.
Alan, get in here, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Like Alan's gonna be like watching this later on when it comes out and be like, God damn.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I would say just like, I don't know, for me we just try to be like real and upfront, and we don't hide behind anything. we don't hide behind like pre-recorded stuff or anything like that. I just try to be genuine. Like what you hear on the album, that's what we are live. Like
Yeah.
straight up.
Yep.
So
Yep.
just
You
trying
got
to
that right.
do the best we can, be the best we can be, and just yeah, just always try to be better.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say we push a little bit of a. I guess what it would be like a bit of a mindfulness kind of almost. I wouldn't say Zen, but like some kind of, just kind of a clean mindset kind of idea or something. Like you look at a lot of our songs, like Cobra Kai is actually kind of a whole song about like how you shouldn't take losing as like technically the loser is the greatest victor because they gain the knowledge to improve themselves and things like that. It's things like that tends to show up in a lot of our songs. So
Right.
I would say essentially stuff like that. Kind of don't let just try and be sound of mind, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That is awesome, guys.
Heck yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
And I want to ask, and you each could, take the time to answer this because I always love the answers I get from this. But what does music mean to you? Like from an early age to even now, like what does music mean to you? Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, it's gonna just give me a minute. I've had that question asked so many times. Like I have no idea what it doesn't mean to me because it's in our everyday lives, right? It's on our radios, it's on our phones, it's in the car, it's everywhere. So if I didn't have music, I honestly don't know what I would do with myself. Like I have to have music somewhere during the day to get through anything,
Same here. It's basically like music is basically one of my main ways of expressing my own self and some of my greatest thoughts and stuff like that. I would say, or at the very least, just what I think is generally cool. So,
Yeah, I would pretty much say the same thing. It's just being able to express yourself in an auditory way and having people reciprocate their feelings of the feelings they get from hearing your sound back to you, I guess would be that's pretty cool. And being able to reach people on a different level, like auditory, through audio, auditorially. I don't know if that's a word, but something like that. Yeah, where which is a very powerful tool, and yeah, it's just about like being what you want to be in its like purest form.
Definitely, man. Music is powerful, man.
mm-hmm.
I just love the answers
Heck yeah.
I get. I know it's kind of almost like a generic question, but
Yeah.
sometimes I get real deep answers, and sometimes, like one guy, he was just like, I don't know, I just like playing music.
Hey, that's a great answer too.
It is. I'm like, oh,
It
it's something
is.
you love to do.
Sometimes you don't gotta think
Yeah.
about it too much.
True that.
No.
So another question I love to ask the few bands I did have on here is what is the funniest or craziest story or experience that you guys have had? I know the band formed in '08, but with newest members at different times. So shall we phone Alan for this one possibly? Little joke.
Yeah.
But what would you guys say, at least from the time you've all been together?
Yeah, like the funniest stuff probably happens with Alan, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little bit. I have a couple, maybe like one or two I can think of, but one of them I don't know if I really want to do it just because it would be some of it would be like talking about some like I don't want to talk bad about some of the bands we play with, so I don't want to say anything like that.
Oh yeah.
There's at least two I can think. There's at least two I can think of, and they both do include Alan. So one of them I can think of is so Slanderus. We do like every year we do like a Halloween show at like kind of like a house show. It's at Alan's place. And there's this. And it's usually always like bring a costume and stuff like that. I just think of back with like the last one we did. Just Alan's costume was like a big inflatable unicorn thing that like it's one of those things that you like wear around your belt. It's like where, like you walk around, but it looks like you're riding a little unicorn. There's that. I mean, another one I could think of too is kind of it's a little bit smaller, but I don't know how. I don't know what you're trying, what kind of rating you're going for this. Like, are you going with like PG?
I mean, no, I should have said that from the beginning. Yeah, this, I mean, 100% be yourself. It's free. You know, we're on the internet.
Right.
I mean, it's my show. I have no rules. I just want guests to feel.
I just want to make sure everybody gets
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, oh.
I mean, if it gets out of hand, I can always throw a little disclaimer.
It's nothing too bad. It's
Right.
But I remember at our last a show we did just this last week at we played the Orange County Fair, and you know, since we were playing like a fairground and stuff like that, one of the big things we were about like, oh, we're gonna try and keep the show like PG rated because we had, you know, there's gonna be a lot of kids walking around and stuff, especially because we were like right next to all like the rides and stuff like that. So a lot of that. But I remember talking to Alan after the show because I remembered, oh, well, one of the songs that we did, there's a line in it that's like, wakey, wakey, no mistakey, truth fucks rather rapey. And I'm like, oh, did you censor that? Or did you think about that at all? And he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, I didn't say fuck. I'm like, okay, but did you still say rape? Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like,
Yeah, he censored fuck, but not rapey.
yeah, I'm like,
Man. Hey, leave it to
I'm like,
Alan.
I just hope nobody knows. Luckily, it was the last song, so.
Yeah.
Oh man, I bet by the time you guys realize it, it's like oh shit.
Well, I was just laughing because we were walking.
Can't
We were
stop
like
now.
we were walking back to like the loading area, so it was
Yeah.
it was like nothing we could do now.
That seems to happen
Oh,
every year though at the OC Fair because we played the OC Fair like every year for like the last 6 years, and you know like some of like Alan's lyrics are a little spicy, and then like so I try to pick songs for the OC Fair set list that aren't as spicy, and then when he has to censor himself, like sometimes he forgets or he'll be talking to the crowd. And he'll say like, all right, let's get this shit going, you know, and then he's like, oh wait, oh shit, like oh no, oh. Like,
all the little kids are looking like, Mommy.
yeah. And I'm just
That's
like,
hilarious. Oh man.
Oh man.
Shout out to you, Alan, when you see this,
Yeah.
man. Oh man, that's hilarious.
He's gonna see it a lot of times.
Oh, he's gonna join like 5 minutes before we end.
That is hilarious. Have you ever any
think
parents
for me-
ever like try to get any backlash from that? Like ever like stopped you guys like afterwards would be like, hey.
no, we've been pretty lucky. Like from what I remember, like we just had you know, the people that run the show, the guys like the stage manager and stuff, you know, he just says, hey, you know, make sure you keep it clean, you know, no swearing or anything like that. And then maybe like Alan tends to let something slip maybe once, but they're usually cool with it. Like they know like we're not like pushing it or anything, you know, they know
Yeah,
like,
it's not like
when we can
Yeah, I think it's one thing they'll just take it as like that's a slip, but if it's like constant, they'll actually start getting into like do something.
Gotcha.
Like we haven't had any big problems like that or anything. So
Awesome. That's hilarious, guys. That was pretty funny.
yeah.
So I don't know if we have any stories from before I joined or JJ joined, but
Yeah.
nah, this one.
I remember
Go
like
ahead.
there was one show we did. I always think of this one that's pretty funny. Like, you know, because like Alan likes to he talks a lot like during the shows and between songs and stuff. And there was one show we played, and you know he was talking and he was like making a joke. I forget what the joke was, but he was talking with like an Asian accent. You know, he had kind of like an Asian accent, and he was kind of like, you know, being funny. And then he looks down, and there's this Asian guy sitting right there in front of him. And he's just like with his arms crossed, looking at him, just like. And then so he's like, oh shit. Okay, then he started talking normal and started like talking about like something else. Like he like caught himself like right away.
Man, he could have gotten in so much trouble that night.
That was like
Oh,
so
man.
funny. That was pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that's risky doing that nowadays with the cancel
Yeah.
culture coming around.
Oh,
Yeah, that was like a
yeah.
while ago. I think that was probably like 8 years ago or something. So
Oh, okay, they
yeah.
went around. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad back then. So, but it was pretty funny though because he caught himself and he changed up his like whatever he was talking about like right away. But I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh gosh.
Man, that's hilarious, man. I love asking those questions because the stories are just out of this world, man. I truly love it.
Yeah.
So, what current projects are you guys currently working on, or performances that my peeps and all of the new audience could look forward to?
We got a few shows coming up right now. We got a show tomorrow night at this place called Bobby V's Cocktail Lounge in Anaheim, California. We'll be playing there. And then we got our next show is going to be at this place called DBA 256 in Pomona, California. And that place is like a bar / art gallery, like / music venue. So that'd be a new place for us. And it looks pretty cool. That should be a really fun show. And then October, we're going to do our annual Halloween show called Slanderween that we throw
Keeping it
every
PG.
year.
Not funny.
Yeah, no, the Slanderween is definitely not
whatever we want.
PG. But
And
yeah,
Al can get as drunk as he wants.
yeah, because he's at home.
Apparently, it's only like a couple beers.
He just has to walk to his room at the end of the night. Or like stumble over there. I don't know, depending on how plastered he gets. But yeah, we got our Halloween party that we throw and we just try to get everybody to come out. Like anybody wants to come, just come and hang out and see us play with. And we got like other bands that are homies with us that we played with before, play with us. And then in November, we're playing Universal Bar and Grill in North Hollywood, California. And that's going to be like on Thanksgiving weekend. That's like this Thanksgiving Saturday on Thanksgiving weekend. And yeah, that's all the shows we got coming up right now. And right now we just been focusing on doing shows, promoting the new album as best we can, and just getting it out there,
Yeah, definitely. This is a question I love to ask all my guests because I just love the answers that I get. So what is your favorite quote or saying that you lean on either during the good times or the bad times? And whoever wants to go first.
So for me, it's a music perspective. So I actually learned it off of a TV show that I watch, and it's practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect.
Oh, I like that. Well, that kind of reminds me of my football days, man. My coach used to drill that, and I think he stole that from Friday Night Lights. Though he used to always say it, stuff like that. or if we were messing up really bad, and he would just like cross his arms like this, and it's like, just because something's common sense doesn't mean it's common practice. What the hell, peoples? He used to say stuff like that all the time. Never call me by my name, my first name. It was always Peoples. That's why I thought, having the People's Choice podcast was just perfect for me.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
So,
So how about you, Brian or Jason? Your favorite quote or saying during the good times or the bad times?
I have a couple different quotes that I would use, and some of them are kind of from weird places.
Yeah.
But part of just like one of my overall philosophies is just generally like, whenever you're feeling small and insecure, just imagine how unlikely, in the grand scheme of the universe, just how unlikely your birth was. And just how generally, like, no matter what you're dealing with now in the grand scheme of all of creation, it just doesn't mean it technically doesn't mean anything. But you should also still be, you should also still be positive about yourself, because the fact that you exist is still a 1,000,001 chance of happening. So I usually just kind of look at stuff like that. So I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm religious, but like just in a philosophical sense.
Gotcha. That was a good one. That was a really good one. And how about you, Jason?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just think like, during bad times, the main thing is just to like stay positive, have a positive mindset, and just think, it could always be worse and things can always get better.
Yep.
And during the good times, um, I just like to think, well, this is good. Just what can I do to keep this going, and just try to be like mindful of myself, surroundings, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish, and just try to stay humble and just try to be an overall good person, and that's about it.
That's awesome, guys. This is like a 3-for-1 special. So for all my peeps, when you guys hear this, definitely share this to somebody that needs to hear that, no matter on what social media platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's literally a 3-for-1 special because I like I said, this is the first time having 3 members with a band on. I mean I know with Zoom we probably have like 100 if we wanted, but this is
Right.
like this is pretty awesome. It's pretty big for me. So you guys actually the first band 3. I know we're missing Alan, but having 3 people on at the same time. So that's awesome. Making history.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And where can all my peeps and new audience find you on social media? All your links I'll put in the description.
Yeah. Well, they can always go to our website, slanderus.com, and you can find everything there. They can find us on Facebook, search Facebook's /Slanderus. And then on Instagram and TikTok, we're Slanderus Inc., INC, because for some reason on both platforms, somebody created an account with the Slanderus handle and never used it.
Oh,
So
man.
it's like a blank account that somebody created and never used. No followers, nobody, not following anybody, no posts, nothing. It's just like a blank account somebody created, but now like that username's taken, so I can't do nothing about it. And then same thing on TikTok. Like TikTok, there's some account like they posted like 6 weird random videos and then just like abandoned the account. So I can't use that. I can't use the handle on there either. But everything else, it's Slanderus, except Instagram and TikTok, it's Slanderus Inc. And then, they go to our website, go to our Facebook. Any site you go to, you can find the links to everything else. So it should be pretty easy for anybody.
Awesome. And yeah, it's funny. I actually went through that too myself with the People's Choice because like everywhere I'm the People's Choice podcast. But on TikTok and on Instagram, some jackrabbit decided to make the People's Choice podcast, but never like they posted one picture and just abandoned it. So I had to put the 24/7, like that. So I understand your pain, man. Where it's like, like at least delete the account so I can get the name back. Like, damn.
The name. I messaged one of the TikTok account. I'm like, hey, can you change your name so I can use that? Because we're
I will give it to you, but you must have a parade in my honor. And
they'll jack up the price. Like, all right, that'll cost you $500,000.
Yeah, they just never responded. So I think they just abandoned the account. Same thing. So
I'll be like, Slanderus Inc. It is, man.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. Just spell it correctly.
Yeah.
That is awesome, guys. I just got one last question. I've been real big on gratitude because just with everything going on in the world between, COVID and just everything, people dying left and right. Now we got this new freaking thing called monkeypox all over the place. So I try to look at gratitude, and just that keeps me grounded. So I want to ask, what are 3 things that you guys are grateful for in your life right now? I love these tough questions where you guys gotta be like, home.
I actually gotta think for a second, like,
Gotta dig deep.
Yeah. So honestly, first thing first, family, because that's obvious. That's really important to anybody,
Don't forget your roots, man.
Second, man, I honestly, I'll say these guys right here, and including Alan, like they're literally my family. You know, don't know what I would do without them. Like honestly.
Awesome, yeah. That's
And,
awesome.
you know, last got to go with my roots and just playing music and playing drums for so long. It's great. It's awesome.
I'm glad you said that, man. Like with the roots, because I've had this sign for like 60 damn what 64 something episodes, and no one's ever like I'll point at it and you know,
Yeah.
like thank you, like John, man. I'm making you the peep of the week, man. Like that. Like I'm telling you, like I've gotten 60 something interviews, over 100 episodes published at least. No one's ever like, thank you, man. Like you can't, how can you forget your roots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like that other sound on the other side of you too. So.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you. Like, I'm so
Yep.
happy the
You know,
season's just starting. You know, I'm ready for Pittsburgh. You know, that's where it's at.
sir. Yes, sir.
How about you, Jason or Brian? 3 things you guys are grateful for in your life.
I don't know. I'm basically the same thing as JJ there. It's I'm grateful for my family because they've always been there for me. Even with all the Slanderus stuff, like I'm having members of my family being like way more supportive than I thought I would. Or in some cases, my friends, just these guys and stuff like that, and just getting the opportunity to do all the stuff. And just music in general, because I honestly don't know where I would be without music right now. I've made it my whole life and career, so.
Music's where the heart is.
Yeah, I would say I'm, like you got the standards, like I'm grateful for my family and they're all cool and supportive. They support me and my band. I'm grateful for my bandmates. They're like my best friends, closest friends. And I'm grateful for, job that I have and being able to do the things that I can do and that I want to do, and being able to be what I want to be and do what I want to do, and just staying passionate and staying humble, staying positive, and that's it.
Awesome. And is there anyone that you want to give a shout out for always, being there, supporting you? You want to give thanks to before we wrap up, guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and take as long as you want. I mean, I know sometimes people have A through Z. I don't want no one to feel left out because I've had people like, hey, can we re-edit like that and add? So I just got to add a couple more people.
I got a couple. So I go. My mom, my dad, my sister. They're 100% supporting me through 19 years of my life, and it's absolutely insane. They put up through so much with me and taking so many vacations off. I'm just like, geez, what else could I ask for?
Definitely.
I'll go ahead and go all my drum instructors. So I've had 4 to 5, and the one I got right now, his name's Dan Frost, but he goes by Frosty, and he's just absolutely insane, teaching me left and right, what not to do, what to do, what to make easier, so I don't strain myself, and it's absolutely incredible. Let's see who else. Let's think about this. All the bands that I've grown up on, that have put great music out, so I can look forward to something. That's about it, man.
All right, awesome.
All right. Sorry, I was gonna say, I don't know, shout out to my mom and dad and my step parents. Like I don't, for all the support. Like I even laugh because my mom is currently living in San Antonio, but she's still like reposting all of our stuff. Anytime we post something, she reposts it. So shout out to all that. I guess shout out to the various teachers and professors I've had through the years. Dr. John Kennedy, his wife Satiq Andriasian. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry, I never use her last name. Dr. Vanessa Fountain and Stuart Green, who have all been various professors in both music and guitar for me throughout the year. And I shout out to my sister, I guess, for putting up with me and being as supportive as she has too. And I think that's relatively it. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know if any of them are going to hear this, but there it is. My mom will probably hear it.
Yeah, I'd probably let's see. I'd like to give a shout out. Probably give a shout out to my girlfriend Kristen because she's been a big supporter of me, and since we've known each other, she's always supported me in the band. She goes with me to all my shows. She goes to all our shows. She supports the band. She helps us out with merch and takes pictures, videos sometimes.
Awesome.
And so big shout out to her. Shout out to my mom for always being supportive, being there whenever I need her. Always supported me in the band. Let's see. Shout out to David. You know, he's like one of our biggest fans. He's always keeping up with us and supporting us and stuff. He comes to our shows when he can. He's cool.
Awesome.
And just to like everybody else who supports us and continues to support us, and hopefully they can make it out to a show, come see us and check us out, and keep it going. Let's have a good time.
Definitely, man. That is awesome, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so honored that you guys, decided, to come on the show. Like I said, first three, man, shout out to you, Alan. We'll get this, we'll get this running one day. We'll get the whole band here. Just being on the show, being a part of the People's Choice Podcast family. You got support from me, from all my peeps. Can't wait for that new music video to drop either this or next week. I should say next week or in 2 weeks.
Hopefully. Yeah,
Hopefully. So we'll praying hands, as we'll definitely support it and continue to push the album. I'm so happy that, like I said, you guys took the time to not just talk about music, but also get to know you guys on a personal level. So
Yeah.
you definitely got fan and support over here for life. Slanderus, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. You
Thank
guys
you.
have a good one.
All right.
You too, brother.
Thanks.
All right.